Ayan. So, magdi-discuss tayo ng ngayon ay tapos na tayo sa mga equipment, okey? So, the reason why inuna ko na yung mga equipment muna, yung mga compressors, pumps, storage vessel, installation column, kasi yun ay part siya dito sa pag-discuss ng process ng petrochemical, ng mga crude oil, okey? Kasi originally, ang discussion ng PPE ay diretso sa process, okey? So, dati, um sa katotohanan, nag-plant design ako nun na walang kaalam-alam kung anong types ng heat exchanger, okey? Yung nagpe-present ako ng topic ko kay Sir Robert, sabi niya, "Anong type ng heat exchanger yan?" Sabi ko, "Hindi ko alam." Sabi ko, "Cold heat exchanger." Yun sinagot ko, 'di na mukha akong tanga, okey. Tapos, so kinorek ko, nag-discuss ako ng types of heat exchanger, ta's yung talaga yung mga equipment na yun. Para 'pag nag-discuss ako ng process ng, product manufacturing, makaka-follow kayo ng maayos-ayos, So, petrochemical. So, learning objectives for this 1 hour and 30 minutes lecture was, yun, i-explain natin ang significance ng petrochemical industry, ayan. And then identify the key feedstocks. Most usually sisimula tayo sa naphtha, then the ethane, propane. Tapos illustrate the production process, properties of ethylene, polyethylene, polypropylene, and the aromatics. Okay, so familiar naman kayo sa mga word na yan. Yung mga CH4, CH2, ay C2H4, mga C3H6, mga aromatics, yung mga may mga benzene ring. Okay, so na introduction. So petrochemical is the fundamental pillar of the modern industry. Right after na produce ang ating crude oil, they are refined. Marami yan byproducts. We have the kerosene, jet fuel, gasoline. Isa na doon ang naphtha. Okay? Naphtha. Okay? Pag naggaganyan. Okay. Naphtha. So magkaiba ang naphtha sa naphthalene, ha. Naphtha is just a broad term, parang jet fuel, gasoline, kerosene. Marami pa 'to, pwede pa 'tong ma-reform, pwede pa siyang further distilled or crack, ang tamang term ay crack, into smaller hydrocarbons. Okay? Which is ginagawa sa isang petrochemical plant. Okay? So the history of the petrochemical industry, and it started from the early 20th century from coal-based to petroleum-based chemistry research. So, pinakauna sa lahat talaga ay feasibility study, di ba? Yung tanong ko sa exam, yung stages of plant development, pinakauna doon, di ba, ay feasibility study. Okay? Kung nakuha niyo ang sagot doon. Then, sa 1914 to 1919, pinalitan ng ethylene ang acetylene as a feedstock. Tapos ang Union Carbide naman, so napaka-importante itong company na ito. Okay, pinakaunang simula ng petrochemical industry, Union Carbide. So Union Carbide established carbide and carbon on to the development of ethylene production, and from 1921, first chemical plant in Clendenin. Okay, it separated ethane and propane from natural gas, or may tinatawag tayong the propanizer, which we will be discussing later. The propanizer. And then gamitin separates propane from ethane. So dito naman, 1923 to 1934, there are 50 derivative chemicals were produced from ethylene. Okay, so at this point, ethylene is very, very important when it comes to the petrochemical industry kasi marami siyang products na pwedeng ma-produce. So, from 1935 to the present ngayon, Union Carbide's innovation spread globally, inspiring the refinery petrochemical integration model. So, Union Carbide pa rin. Okay? So, sa production, we have the major chemical industries such as Shell, Sea Oil, ano pa, BP. Pag sa petrochemical naman, Union Carbide is the prominent figure when it comes to the petrochemical industry. So basically, the petrochemical industry is responsible for the manufacturing of these products, okay? Plastic, LPG, mga thinner, and also the styrofoam. Okay? So ito, this is ethylene. This is propane. This is, ano to? Benzene. Benzene ba to? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ito rin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, same sila. 1, 2, 3. Hindi pala. Okay? So magkakaiba ang petroleum, refinery, and petrochemical. Okay? So petroleum refinery, crude oil mismo nandun. Okay? Yung bagong freshly produced crude oil ang sa petroleum refinery. So they're turned into fuels, energy, gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, LPG, and fuel. So they also produce lubricants, asphalt. Yung asphalt yung nasa pinaka-heavy na, so distillation column. Nasa pinakababa na yan. And other refined petroleum products for transportation, power generation, and industrial use. So refineries use process like distillation, okay, alam niyo natin yan, cracking, hydrotreating, reforming, and coking to separate and upgrade crude oil components. So sa petrochemical naman, converts hydrocarbon feedstocks. So, ang feedstock niyan ay naphtha and LPG. Okay? Naphtha and LPG. Pinaka-feedstock yan. So, these chemicals are processed further to make plastics, synthetic fibers, rubber detergent, solvents, coating, fertilizers, and other everyday materials. So the main role of a petrochemical plant is to supply raw materials for manufacturing, packaging, textiles, and consumer goods and industrial products. So sa petrochemical naman, actually parang parehas lang ang refinery petrochemical, iba lang yung kanilang feedstock. Pag sa refinery crude oil, pag sa petrochemical is either naphtha or LPG. So ito, I think this is very familiar to you. Ano kaya itong product na ito? Tingnan itong product na to, Miko. Oh, Isagani.
Petroleum jelly po, sir.
Ayan. This is a petroleum jelly. Okay? Pretty sure you've heard of this product. Okay? So, petroleum engineer ka? Yes, I'm a petroleum engineer. So, gumagawa ka ng petroleum jelly. So, minsan, tinatawanan lang natin yun, di ba? Pero, sabihin mo, yes, we are also responsible of creating that product. Okay? Pero, sabihin mo, through our petrochemical plants. So, sa composition of that, it is a saturated hydrocarbon. Ibig sabihin ng saturated ay, ayan, paraffins and isoparaffins. C50, carbon 15 to carbon 30, it is chemically inert. Ibig sabihin, non-reactive siya tulad ng nitrogen. So, kapag nilalagay natin sa skin, di ba? Wala kang mararamdaman kasi hindi siya nagre-react. Ina-absorb lang siya. So, hydrophobic, doesn't mix with water, and melting point is around 37 to 60 degrees Celsius depending on the blend. So, ang function niya, creates a barrier for skin protection. It's also a lubricant, waterproofing, and carrier for tropical formulation. Okay? So, sinong gumagamit nito? So, dapat alam nyo kung saan siya nanggaling, ano yung properties niya and function niya. Di ba? Para magmukhang smart or maging smart talaga Ang galing mo talaga, petroleum engineering, talagang gagaling ng mga petroleum engineers. Okay? So, this is just a diagram for the production of crude oil. Ano yung mga pinoproduce niya? So, at this topic or this lecture of ours, focus tayo sa naphtha. Okay? Sige, take a look at the diagram muna. Okay. So, itong crude oil, kita nyo na meron siyang gas, meron siyang naphtha, kerosene, gas, oil, and other fractions. So, wala lang dyan yung jet fuel. So, dito sa naphtha, ang naphtha, it produces ethene, propene, butenes, butadiene, and yung aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay? Pag ethene, di ba, ganito siya pag ethene, dalawa. Pag propene naman, ayan. Pag butenes, 4 siya. Okay? Pag butadiene, 4 siya. Pero yung kanyang double band ay 2. Di ba? Ganyan. So, tandaan nyo pa yan, di ba? Branch alkanes. Okay, so pag alkanes yan ay CN, 2N plus 2 yung kanyang formula. CN, 2N plus 2. Okay? So cyclohexane and also the aromatic hydrocarbons. So what is a naphtha? Okay? Wrong spelling lang. This is should not may H dyan. Okay. So what is a naphtha? So naphtha is an intermediate hydrocarbon liquid stream derived from refining of crude oil with CAS number 6474248 number na. So yun yung parang unique product number na. It is most usually desulfurized, ibig sabihin walang H2S. Okay? Walang sulfur, walang H2S. It is typically catalytically reformed. So ano yung reform? Reform is arranges or restructures the hydrocarbon molecules in naphtha as well as breaking some of the molecules into smaller molecules to produce high-octane component. Okay? High-octane component of gasoline or petrol. So, yung mga nagpapagas dito na sa mga gasoline station, di ba meron kayong makikita mga 93 plus, 89 plus. So, yung mga ganon ay dapat yung makina nyo ay akma siya kung ano yung kanyang octane plus. Kasi the higher the octane rating, mas mahirap siyang i-combust. Okay, yung mga motor, yung mga maliliit na sasakyan, usually mga 88 sila, mga 90. Yung mga malalakas naman, yung mga malalaki makina, yung mga SUV, mga van, they usually go by 93 plus. So correct if I'm wrong, Hindi kasi ako nagpapagasoline, pero by research, yun ang nakita ko. Okay? Ito, naphtha. Okay? So, with this napakalaking diagram na basang-basa nyo, sandali. So, pag zinom ko siya, nakikita nyo, malinaw kaya. Sobrang linaw. Sobrang linaw. Alam ko na. Yan ako yung share screen ko. Papalitan ko. Yan. Ito, mas smooth siya. Tagal lang mo yun. Yan. Ayan, mas malinaw ito dito. Hindi, medyo malinaw din po siya. So, we are here sa naphtha tayo. Ang product niya ay ito, naphtha propylene. So, compare nyo, ang kanyang size, mas malaki siya kaysa doon sa refinery gases and the methane. Okay, so it constitutes to about 60% of the products used in petrochemical industry. So, napaka-importante ng naphtha. Okay, so ang naphtha natin, meron tayong isang sa JG, sa work natin. Dati walang naphtha cracker doon. So sabi ni Gokong Wei, para hindi na tayo mahihirapan mag-import ng naphtha, gumawa sila ng naphtha cracker. I think that was around 2005. So may naphtha cracker doon. Ang naphtha cracker, yan ay syempre it creates it refines crude oil. I mean, hindi pala. Ang naphtha cracker unit, pala, ang feedstock niya naphtha, and it cracks naphtha. Okay, pag sinasabi natin crack, yung hydrocarbon, yung long chain hydrocarbons, or isang product na maraming hydrocarbon chains, ay nahati-hati natin yan into smaller chains. Kunyari, naphtha. Ang kanyang range ay C1 to C10. Okay, pag renak natin siya, produce tayo ng C1, C2, C3, C4 saturates. Okay, pag sinabi kong saturates, yan yung mga hydrocarbon na walang double band, triple band. Yung mga tawag dyan, yung mga normal band. Mga single band pala. Pag sinabi kong saturates. Okay? So, next. Ito naman next. So, naphtha is a general term
There are hundreds of different crude oil sources worldwide, and each crude oil has its own unique composition or assay. There are also hundreds of petroleum refineries worldwide, and each of them is designed to process either a specific crude oil or specific types of crude oils. Okay? Maaaring iba yung pinoproduce ng iba't ibang planta. Okay? Yung mga planta na yun, may pupuntahan tayong planta sa planter natin, yung 1 petrochemical, 1 petroleum corporation. Okay? So, aalamin natin kung ano yung pinoproduce natin sa kailan. Okay? So, naphtha properties, it has its own initial boiling point and the final boiling point. Initial boiling point actually ranges from around 35. Pag final boiling point naman, 200 yan. Okay? So, naphtha is the first unit operation in a petroleum refinery. The first unit operation in a petroleum refinery is actually the crude oil. Okay? Kung nag-produce ng crude oil, produce naphtha. Okay? So, meron dalawang types ng liquid distillate. Meron tayong yung una, yung straight run naphtha or the virgin naphtha. So, this is the distillate. This is the largest sources of naphtha in most petroleum refineries. So, it has boiling point at 35. Tapos yung FBP niya naman ay 200. It contains paraffins, naphthenes, and aromatic hydrocarbons. So, aromatic. So, aromatic ang kanyang word, name niya kasi produces an aroma. Parang yung aroma ng pintura. Okay, mga paint thinner. Yun yung amoy ng aromatics. Kung alam nyo. So, it ranges from those containing 4 carbon atoms to those containing about 10 or 11 atoms. So, iba't iba ang sources. Sabi dito, C8 to C12. Sabi naman dito, 10 to 11. Pero ang maximum lang yan is 12. Okay? Pag na. So, hirap naman i-next. Ayan. So, the virgin naphtha is usually processed in a catalytic reformer. So, the light naphtha has molecules with 6 or fewer carbon atoms. So, a virgin light naphtha with an about 30 degrees Celsius and an FBP of 145 degrees Celsius, containing but not most of all hydrocarbons of 6 or less. Okay? Pag light naphtha, 6 or less. Okay? So, pag virgin heavy naman, more than 6. So, the heavy naphtha, kung kanyang hydrocarbons o kanyang carbon atoms pala ay mas mataas, yung kanyang boiling point ay, di ba, tataas din. Kasi mas malabo yung kanyang carbon atoms. So, pag light naphtha naman, as I said, this is 6 or fewer carbon atoms. Pag nire-reform ito kasing naphtha na ito, kahit dadan pa ito sa reforming. Okay, reform. Pag reforming, nire-reform yung structure ng chemical, yung chemical structure niya. It can either be reformed into gasoline, okay, or it is further cracked. So this C4 or butane and lower molecular weight hydrocarbons are not usually useful as high-octane gasoline. So molecules with 6 carbons tend to form aromatics. Undesirable due to environmental regulations of a number of countries limit the amount of aromatics, most particularly benzene, in gasoline. Okay, so I'm not familiar, so I'm not sure ganyan din sa Pilipinas. Pero tingnan natin yung composition ng gasoline. Further. So, isang example ng naphtha is the Iraqi heavy naphtha. Okay, so iba't ibang lugar they can produce, di ba, pag iba't ibang lugar, iba-iba rin yung crude oil na kanilang kaya mag-produce. So, iba rin yung kanilang, iba din yung kanilang properties na, kunyari ito, Iraqi heavy naphtha, yung kanyang density, specific gravity at API, viscosity at 40 degrees Celsius, boiling point, and sulfur content is usually this value. Pwede ko na yung discuss. So, ito na yung process mismo. So, ito na yung process mismo. Ito yung part ng refinery. Okay, ito naman yung petrochemical. So, petroleum industry, pinakasisimula dyan, or like, magsisimula talaga dyan ang crude oil. Okay, so, oil refining pala, tapos naphtha. So, we'll focus more on steam cracking at this lecture, or usually an ethylene plant. Ay, steam cracking, after yan ay mapupunta siyang ethylene, then other ethylene derivatives. So, ayun pala, may propane din pala dito. So, the petroleum industry can also start at propane. But this is usually, galing kasi dito yan sa steam cracking din ito. Okay? Ang propane ay galing sa steam cracking. So, pwede siyang done sa dehydrogenation process or tatanggalin yung hydrogen. Then, it also has its own derivatives such as propylene, propylene derivatives, C4, C5 fractions, C4 to C5 derivatives, aromatic fraction, and also aromatic derivatives. So, steam cracking. So, what is steam cracking? Steam cracking is the thermal decomposition process where hydrocarbons like ethane, propane, naphtha, or gas oil are heated to very high temperatures, usually from 750 to 875 reaction temperatures in the presence of steam. In the presence of steam. Ayan, ito. Ito yung picture nito. Okay? Ayan. So, ano nangyayari dito? Yung furnace na ito, may fuel oil dyan na pinapasunog. Susunugin siya. Tapos yung naphtha and yung steam naman ay in-mix. Okay? Hindi siya tulad ng heat exchanger na hindi mag-contact yung naphtha tapos yung steam. Okay, so yung naphtha and steam mag-mix siya, tapos sabay sila susunugin or papainitin sa furnace. Okay, then dadaan sa quenching unit to remove the water. Then sa compressor naman to turn the to increase the pressure naman. Yung compressor, then dadaan siya sa separator. Pagkatapos ng separator, dito na yung separator is also here called distillation column. Okay. Yan, distillation column siya. So we will further dive deeper into that process. So sa main unit naman, meron tayong sa isang naphtha cracker. Pag may nakita kayong naphtha cracker, usually meron siyang ganitong part. It has its own hot section and the cold section. So hot section, by the word itself, mataas yung temperature dyan. Okay? Ito na yung sinasabi ko dito sa furnace. Okay? Yan yung may hot section. So cold section naman, dito na usually may mga distillation column. Ito yung mga tataas na mga towers dyan. Yan yung cold section natin. So, from this example naman, ito, this is a plant na nakita ko sa internet. So, meron siyang mga labels, kung ano yung mga labels na yan. So, from this picture, tingin nyo, ano to, hot or cold section? Ayan. This is actually a cold section, di ba? Kasi may mga, ano tayo, may mga distillation columns na. Okay, hindi ko sabihin na super cold, okay? Mainit pa rin yan. Pero the temperature is lower than the furnace. Kaya siya ay tinawag na cold section. Okay. So, may mga label dito, may ano din dito, may tawag dyan, may legend. Okay, may description for each label. So, isa-isahin natin. So, sa number 1 daw, the debutanizer separates the C4 hydrocarbons from the C1 to C3 hydrocarbons. Okay, so number 1. So, yung C4, since heavy siya, dito siya sa baba, C4, tapos C1 to C3 naman sa taas. Okay, so the propanizer naman separates C3 to number 2. Okay, so dito naman C3 sa taas. Sa baba naman ay C1 to C2 na lang. So sa number 3, the ethanizer separates C2. So sa taas itong C2, sa baba ay C1. Okay? And then ano sa tayo? Number 4, the methanizer separates the C2. Okay? Ito, C2. Tapos, ang baba dyan, mga further hydrocarbons pa. Kung ano yung mga laman niya. Mga kahit anong carbon saturates. Okay, pwede meron pa dyan ng CO2 or meron pang mga traces ng other hydrocarbons. So, C1, C2, C3. Pag sa demethanizer. So, the C3 naman, C3 splitter, sa number 5 ito, C3 splitter separates propene from propane. Okay, so sa number 5, propene, ito, propene, from propane. Ano ba? So the C2 splitter naman, number 6, the same as number 5, separates ethene from ethane. So, mapapansin nyo dito, hindi siya sineseparate as a whole. Okay? So, hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng distillation column. Tapos, puro mga propane, ethane, methane, propane ang inyong i-separate sa isang distillation column kasi sobrang lapit na ng kanilang mga boiling point. To the point na kailangan nila ng each of their own distillation column. Okay? Next is we have the steam cracking units. Ayan. Makikita nyo na naman kung anong lalaman ng exam natin. Okay, so sa steam cracking units naman, ito na yung parang PFD niya. PFD of a steam cracking units, we have the pyrolysis furnace, quencher, scrubber, drying, compression, cooling, the ethanizer, propanizer, and we have the debutanizer. Okay, so isa-isayin natin yan. So may mga ano dito, may mga units dito na kailangan natin alamin muna yung kanilang function. Okay? So, number 1, pyrolysis furnace. The pyrolysis furnace is an industrial heating unit designed to thermally break down organic materials, usually hydrocarbons, in the absence of oxygen. So, the goal is to decompose large molecules into smaller, more valuable ones through pyrolysis, a process typically used in the petrochemical industry. Okay, so ito yung parang breakdown lang. So furnace feed, yung nafta natin, yung boiler feed naman is yung ating steam. Okay, so sa baba niyan may fuel, yan yung nag-give off ng very high temperatures. Di ba sabi ko kanina, 750 to 800 degrees Celsius. Tapos naman ang kanilang product ay isang ito na yung product, yung pula na yun. Okay? Yung crude oil na ito. Tapos ito naman ay yung steam. Okay? Since yung furnace feed naman tapos yung boiler feed natin ay pinag-mix natin. Okay. Dito pa sila sa I'm sorry, kakorek ko pala. Ito. Dito sila sa trace natin siya. Okay. Yung ating feed, yung naphtha ay dito siya sa brown. Tapos yung tubig naman, dito na siya sa itong red na arrow. Red 9. Nagiging 11. Yan, M na yan ay medium yan. Medium pressure steam. Okay? Dadaan siya dito. Dito. Dito sa unit na ito to oil quench. Okay? Pag quench kasi tatanggalin yung moisture pa. Okay? Di tayo further dive into that. Okay? Next is we have the quencher. And quencher is used to rapidly cool hot reaction products to stop further chemical reaction. Okay? Balikan natin ito to oil quencher. Okay? So when hydrocarbons are trapped in a furnace, ang galing ko lang. The reaction exits extremely hot, around 800 to 900 degrees Celsius, if not cooled immediately. So, pag hindi siya na-cool, pwede tayong magkaroon ng overcracking, tuloy-tuloy pa ng reaction, or tuloy-tuloy pa ng pag-breakdown. So, coke formation, polymerization, the loss of valuable products like ethylene. Kasi na-overcrack na natin siya. Yung ethylene na yun, nag-separate pa siya into smaller and smaller hydrocarbons. So, ayaw natin yun. So, ito, in this picture is actually a coke formation. Okay? C-O-K-E. Byproduct na siya ng isang cracking unit. Okay, sobrang taas ng pressure, sa layo nag-solidify na. Kaya siya ay solid na dyan. Tapos, yung kanyang, syempre, yung kanyang itsura ay black na. So, extreme burning na siya. Okay? So, sa scrubber naman, sa pollution control or cleaning device, remove contaminants from gas streams before gas is released to, or sent to the next process. So, it scrubs out unwanted particles of gases to prevent equipment damage, improve process quality, and also protect the environment. Okay, so ano lang dito, para lang tong separator. So yung gas stream, yung gas, nire-remove natin yung kanyang solid components. So ano yung mga solid components na yun? Maaari siyang gas, particles, pwede siyang maging acidic gases pala, ammonia, volatile organic carbons, compounds, and also the odors and hydrocarbons. Pero in this case, usually ang ginagamit dyan ay pang-remove ng gas and fine particles. So, pag-separate ng gas to solid. So, we have the demethanizer naman. So, the demethanizer, obviously, it removes methane. So, kanyang overhead, ito overhead natin, siya ay methane. CH4. Sa baba ay yung mga iba't ibang yung mataas, yung medyo yung tirang hydrocarbons. At in this case, di ba tinuro pa nila yung mga yung mga separation ng bawat distillation column. So sa taas yung light, sa baba naman yung heavy. Or yung usually heavier than what is at the overhead. Okay? So, parehas lang dito, deethanizer naman, remove C2. Pag deethanizer, remove C2, sa baba naman ay yung tirang byproduct. So, yan. Medyo parehas lang pala yung picture na ginamit ko. Pero ito yung tama. Ito yung tama sa deethanizer. Ito mali ito. Mali yan. Wala nalagay yung depropanizer na picture. So the depropanizer naman, it removes C3. C3 tapos sa baba ay yung tira, yung C4. Okay? So steam cracking hot section. In a steam cracking plant, the hot section refers to the front end of the process where hydrocarbons are thermally cracked at very high temperature. So this is the most energy intensive part and the heart of olefin production. So ito yung dalawang product na ginagamit mostly sa isang petrochemical plant. So naphtha, i-steam crack natin siya to produce mainly ethylene and propylene. Okay? So may mga ibang planta na ginagawa for the sole purpose of processing ethylene propylene through polymerization. Okay? So itong ethylene magiging polyethylene. Isang propylene naman magiging siyang polypropylene. So isa-isay natin yung kanyang process flow. So naphtha is mixed with superheated steam. So they are fed the furnace fuel gas. Okay. Wait lang, wabay ko yung device. Para mas madali.
Yo, okay.
Hello. Ayun, I think rinig na ako. Di ba? Yes, okay. So, naphtha, sana tayo. So, naphtha or LPG saturates is mixed with superheated steam. So, ito yung ating naphtha. Ito rin yung ating H2O. Ito. Yung H2O, yan yung steam natin. So, they're fed to furnace fuel gas. So, fuel oils are used. So, fuel oils are used as fuels to generate heat. Okay? Heat dyan. Then, the superheated steam is generated from the furnace itself using heat recovery boiler concept. So, ano yun? So, that is just a concept para yung lalabas na steam from the furnace ay pwede pa siyang magamit or pwede pa siyang ma-recover. So, discuss ko yung mamaya. So, the C2, C4 saturates or the recycled are fed to separate furnace fed with fuel gas plus fuel oil as fuels to generate heat. So, kung makikita nyo ito dito sa process, dalawa yung kanyang furnace. We have number 1 and we have, wala. Ba't ganon? So we have we have number 1 and we have number 2. So yung sa number 1, yan yung diyan magsisimula ang pinakaunang operation o yung plant operation, naphtha. And the steam, yung pinakaunang stock natin. Itong sa baba, sa number 2, yan yung recycle. Okay? Dito kasi sa process na ito, meron tayong mga excess or pwedeng ma-recycle na hydrocarbons. So, mapupuntahan natin yan mamaya. So, yung mga process na yan, babalik yan, pupunta yan dito. Okay? So, para yan ay walang masayang. Diba? So, sa planta, since enclosed yung mga process operation dyan, yung mga materials natin, yung mga feedstock, ay kailangan na laging meron silang pupuntahan so sa mas balance. So, hindi siya pwedeng event mo lang sa atmosphere. Kasi sayang, kung pwede pa naman siyang gamitin, di ba? So, in the furnace, apart from the steam cracking, steam is also generated. Kaya, ito. Ito part na ito, yung binilugan ko. Ang laman niyan, meron tayo dyang, of course, we have the cracked hydrocarbons and we also have the superheated steam. So, mixture na siya. Mixture na siya ng hydrocarbons and steam. Plus steam. So, mixture na siya ng hydrocarbons and steam. Diyan sa araw na yan. So, after the pyrolysis reaction, the products from the furnace are sent to another heat recovery steam boiler to cool the products, streams, and generate steam from water. Okay? So, since papasok siya dito, mainit ito, around 800 degrees Celsius. Papasok siya dito. And then, yung init na iyan, pwede natin siyang gamitin para mag-produce pa ng steam. Okay, kasi yung steam na yan, di ba sabi ko yan ay utility. Pwede siyang gamitin kahit saan. So, since mainit siya, sayang naman ng init kung i-diretso natin siya sa process. So, pwede pa tayo mag-create ng steam. So, itong blue na ito, this is actually a heat exchanger. Okay? So, yung mainit na yan ay pupunta sa tube side. Tube side. Yung feed. Then yung H2O, yung water, pupunta naman siya sa shell side. Okay? Shell side H2O. Okay, parang H2O na yun ay pwede natin siyang ma-produce into steam. Okay? Pwede naman siyang bumalik dito. Okay? Pwede siyang gamitin dyan or pwede siyang gamitin sa other processes. So, yan yung sinasabi kong heat recovery concept. So, after this operation, the product enters a scrubber that is fed with gas oil as absorbent. The gas oil removes solid and heavy hydrocarbons. So, pumunta siya sa scrubber. Okay, ano yung scrubber ito? Ito yung ating scrubber. So, ano nangyayari sa scrubber? So, the scrubber, as I said, removes solid components from the product stream. So, sabihin natin ito yung scrubber natin. Papasok yung oil. And then, papasok din yung stream. Okay, yung may hydrocarbons. Sabi natin H ito. Hydrocarbons. Ang lalabas dyan, yung oil, hydrocarbons plus solid components. Ang lalabas dyan yung oil plus the solid components. Tapos ang lalabas naman nito ay hydrocarbons na lang. Okay? Yan yung purpose ng ating scrubber. Okay, so may makita ka dito. So, dyan. So, may makita kayo dito waste oil. Okay? Yun yung may mga solid components. Yun yung ating waste oil. So, next is we have, nakalagay dito, after scrubbing, both product gases from the scrubbers are mixed and fed to a compressor. The compressor increases the system pressure to 35 atmosphere. So, anong purpose ng compressor? Di ba ang compressor na discuss ko, ang purpose ng compressor is just to deliver gas. Okay? Pero at this point, may halong ibang function yung ating compressor. So, yung ating compressor naman, from the word itself, compresses, it turns the vapor feed into liquid. Okay? Vapor feed into liquid. So, may mga ibang part kasi dyan, may mga ibang mixture na pag kinompress mo, siya ay magto-turn into liquid. Okay. So, paano nangyari yan? So, possible lang yan pag high pressure, high ang kanyang pressure, okay, pero ang kanyang temperature ay mababa. So, at that point, yung ating mga light components, yung mga tawag dyan, at that point, yung ating mga light, sabi natin ito yung stream. Okay? Yung mga light turn into vapor, tapos yung mga heavy, ba't nagagas? Nakascribble siya. Yan, light. Tapos yung heavy naman ay nagre-remain as liquid. Okay, so at this point na kasi, eto, nandito na tayo. So the compressed vapor is fed to a phase separation. Okay? Okay. Erase ko lang ito. So phase separation pa pala siya sorry. So di ba kinompress na natin siya? High pressure na siya dito at that point. High pressure na siya. At this point. Sorry, mali. High pressure na siya pag nasa compressor na siya at 35 atmospheric pressure. So high pressure na yan. So at that point, the compressed vapor is fed to a phase separation. Ito yan actually. Yan. Phase separation. Tapos they separate the feed into two stream, namely the vapor phase. Ito pala siya. The vapor phase C1 to C3 plus the H2O and the carbon monoxide. Tapos may carbon dioxide pa yan dyan. So the liquid phase naman is C3 plus C4. Okay, kung i-zoom ko siya, ayan, nandito siya. Itong part na ito, itong pababay na ito, yan na yung C3 to C4. Tapos itong part na ito ay, yan na yung H2CO, C1 to C3. Then also may nakalagay din dyan, carbon dioxide. Hindi lang lalagay. Okay, so at this point naman, ano na yan, parang iba't ibang process na yan. Okay, kasi itong vapor na ito, dito siya sa process na ito. Okay? Ito naman liquid, ang process niya ay ito. Kung iti-trace nyo yung ating process. Okay, so don't worry, isa-isayin natin yan. So punta naman tayo sa cold section. So yung cold section, yun yung gas stream na ito yung sinasabi ko. Okay? Yan yung ating gas stream. Diyan na magsisimula yung cold section. So the cold section handles cooling, compressing, drying, separating, and purifying cracked gas after the hot section. It turns the hot cracked mixture into separate valuable products like ethylene, propylene, hydrogen, and BTX aromatic. So the gas stream processing. So the gas stream processing starts over here. Okay? Ito. At this part. Okay? Yan. So the CO2 in the vapor stream is removed using NaOH scrubber. So bakit tinatanggal ang CO2? So CO2, more usually hindi siya ginagamit na gas sa process. Waste, consider siya as waste. Okay, kasi wala ka naman pwedeng ma-produce na product using carbon dioxide. Okay, we want ethylene, we want propylene. Okay, and also the aromatics. So dito, NaOH or sodium hydroxide is used as a scrubber. So ginagamit dyan, yung NaOH ay hinahalo siya sa stream. Itong stream na ito. So dinidissolve ng NaOH yung carbon dioxide sa mixture. Okay? So lalabas dito yung NaOH as waste. Ang nangyari dyan, ulitin ko lang. Ito. Sa washer, NaOH. Tapos ito yung stream natin. Meron tayong H2CO, C1, C3. Tapos lalabas siya as, ito naman, CO2 pala. Lalabas siya NaOH plus CO2. Tapos lalabas naman yung H2, CO, C1 to C3. Okay, yan yung kanyang process flow. Okay, yan ang nangyari sa washer. So, as I said, dinidissolve ng NaOH yung ating CO2. So, ibig sabihin yung CO2 ay part na siya ng sodium hydroxide. Okay, tapos yung naman ay ano siya, include na siya sa waste. Okay. Correct ko lang pala, itong CO2 kasama na pala yung hindi, okay na yan. Nakalagay dito, CO2 in the vapor phase stream is removed using NaOH scrubber. Okay, tama. Then next is, subsequently, gas is dried to consist of only H2CO, C1 to C3 components only. Okay? So, nasaan na yan? Ito, gas dryer. Diba kasi siya ay itong part na ito. Ayan, gas dryer. So, subsequently, gas is dried. Kasi diba siya ay pinaghaluan natin ng liquid na sodium hydroxide. So, it is further removed naman to further remove the solvent or the scrubber. Remove NaOH and other liquid. Kaya siya tinawag gas dryer. Okay, dito sa ating gas dryer. So the stream is then sent to the demethanizer. Ito. This is the demethanizer. So the demethanizer separates tail gas, CO plus H2 plus CH4. Okay. Separates tail gas. Ito. Sa demethanizer, ang product niya dito ay ito na yung CH4. Tapos ang dito, ang sa baba naman ay C2 and C3. Ayan. CH4 plus CO plus H2. Okay? So dito ako nagbabasa dito sa left side yung kanyang process. Okay? Remove CH4 plus CO plus H2. So, ang product niya sa bottom, C2 to C3 naman. Okay? So, the C2 components then enter ay the ethanizer naman. Ito tayo. Diba? The ethanizer.
Sayang na. Sa din klase ko mamaya.
Okay, saan na tayo? So, dito tayo sa deethanizer. Deethanizer separates C2 from C3 components. Okay. Saan na yun? Ito. So, kung i-zoom ko siya, dito yung ating C2, tapos dito naman sa baba, di ba ito? Itong part na ito. Yan. Yan, may C3. May nakalagay na pala dito, C3. So, the ethanizer removes or separates C2 from the C3. So, here, C2 components refer to all kinds of C2. Ayan. Lilinaw lang dito. Pag sinabi kasing C2 or C3, yan yung dalawang, yung ilan ng carbon. Pero hindi sinabi kung ano yung kanyang structure. Okay, pag sinabi yung C2 dito, we refer to ethane, ethylene, and acetylene. Okay? Tulad din ng C3, propylene and propane. Ayan, nilinaw lang. Baka kasi nalilito kayo. C2, di ba ang daming types ng C2? Sir, kami ba, sir, ay niloloko mo, sir? Hindi naman yan. Nilinaw ko na. Sa baba naman, next is we have the C2 components and enter a C2 splitter. Ayan, ito. C2 splitter. Yan. C2 components and enter a C2 splitter separating ethane from ethylene and acetylene. So separates ethane, C2H6, ito, C2H6 from ethylene and acetylene. Ito. So itong feed na ito, yan ay C2H4 tapos C2H2. Okay? Ethylene and acetylene. Okay, dito naman siya pupunta siya sa baba. Absorption unit naman. Okay? Ito yung ating absorption unit. Ayan. So, ginagawa ng absorption unit, the ethylene and acetylene gas mixture is fed to absorption unit. It is fed with an extracting solvent, typically N-methyl pyrrolidinone. So, ethylene, acetylene is extracted. Pag sinabi kasing absorption unit, gagamit tayo ng solvent para ma-absorb yung ating gustong i-absorb. Okay? Kaya, gumagamit tayo ng solvent. Okay? So, dito, papasok dito yung C2H4, then C2H6, tapos maghihiwalay siya. Nakalagay dito. Ayan. So, dito, pupunta dito yung acetylene. Dito sa baba nito. Dito pupunta yung C2H6. Tapos naman dito, sa stripper naman, ang nangyayari dyan, di ba nag-add tayo ng solvent dito sa absorption unit. So, maghihiwalay dito, ang dadan dito ay yung feed, yung may acetylene plus dissolvent, tapos ang mangyayari dito, isa-separate lang sila. So, acetylene, then yung extracting solvent ay babalik siya dito sa absorption unit para siya ay magamit ulit. So, ito naman, yung C2H4 naman. Okay? Yung C2H4, yung ethylene natin, dito siya. Ito. Pero kung yung naman, yung ito nakalagay dito kasi, kung walang kung walang acetylene naman, yung ating feed, pwede siyang pumunta dito sa acetylene converter. Okay, so ano yung acetylene converter? So yung ethylene acetylene converter, it removes, sabihin natin pwede siya mag-remove siya ng hydrogen. It removes oxygen and other impurities to convert those hydrocarbons into C2H4. Okay? So, nangyari kasi dyan, alam ko kasi sa aming acetylene converter sa trabaho ko, may halo pa yung oxygen. So, yung nangyari dito, yung C2H4, H4 plus oxygen, ang nangyayari dyan, mag-add ka ng H2O, ay H2 pala, hydrogen, tapos ang kanyang product ay C2H4, ay ang product niya ay C2H4 plus H2O na. So, water yung kanyang product. So, yung O napupunta sa H. Diba? Kaya siya ay nagiging acetylene converter. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong lang. Yan yung i-correct ko yan. Sana yan. So, dito na tayo sa C2H4. So, the ethylene and acetylene gas is fed to absorption unit. Tapos na pala tayo dyan. So, ito naman, ethylene. Di ba may ethylene dito? So, the ethylene stream is fed to a topping and tailing steel to obtain high purity ethylene and acetylene are obtained as top and bottom products. Okay, so the mixture of ethylene and acetylene is sent back to the C2 splitter unit. Its composition matches that of the C2 splitter feed. So, ang nangyari dito, yung stream ng C2H4 ay na-feed siya dito sa tailing and the topping steel. So, nakalagay dito, a mixture of ethylene are obtained as top and bottom products. Mixture of ethylene and acetylene is obtained. Okay, so nangyari dito, ang na-form pa dito, ang product dito ay yung ating acetylene. Okay. Acetylene, then the ethylene. Okay. So dito naman, pupunta siya sa tailing naman. So the tailing steel, it produces ethylene, both ethylene, and also yung mga mixtures pa na maaaring mag-contain ng both ethylene, and other hydrocarbons. Okay? Medyo kasi mahirap na. Dito ko sa part na ito, medyo super lapit-lapit ng kanilang mga boiling point. Okay? Gusto kasi natin dito na yung ethylene natin ay sa produce natin dito as final product. Siya ay pure ethylene lang talaga. So, kaya meron tayong tailing. Di ba ang tailing dito? Tailing steel, it removes other, yung paano ka explain to? Di ba ang tail nasa parang sa animal, nasa dulo siya? Nasa dulong part ng animal. Okay, so tailing steel naman, yung mga tailing gas naman natin ang nire-remove. So, after all this process naman, pwede pa siyang magkaroon ng component ng CO, H2, and also CH4. Okay, gusto natin siyang super high purity ng ethylene natin. So, paano magawin yan? Ibabalik natin siya dito sa C2 splitter. Okay. So, the mixture of ethylene and acetylene is sent back to the C2 splitter unit. So, ang nangyari dito, itong ethylene dito sa bottom product, pero pwede pa siya magkaroon ng mixture of acetylene. So, saan ba nagse-separate ang ethylene and acetylene sa process na ito? Dito siya sa C2 splitter. So, the C2 splitter, again, receives the product of the ethylene tailing steel. Ayan, the mixture of ethylene and acetylene. Siya ibabalik siya, C2 splitter. And then, repeat na naman yung process. Hanggat sa yung ethylene na produce dito sa ethylene tailing steel ay pure na, high purity na siya. Okay? With high purity offers higher yield. Okay, yung ating general rule when it comes to manufacturing of chemical products. Gusto natin mataas yung purity. Yung dito nanonood ng Breaking Bad, di ba? Yung gusto ng mga drug lords, yung purity ng methamphetamine ay mataas. Okay? Kasi pag mataas yung methamphetamine, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung yield. Mas mataas yung pwedeng ma-produce. At mas matapang din. Mas gustuhin siya ng mga buyers ng mga drug. Okay. Diba? Sa Breaking Bad. So, babalik tayo dito sa C2 splitter. Kasi C2 splitter natin, meron siyang byproduct ng C2H6. Ito naman ay mapupunta dito sa recycle. Ito. Dito siya sa second furnace natin. Okay? Di ba C2H6 is saturate kasi wala siyang double bond, di ba? Ang itsura niyan ay ganito. C, tapos yan, tatlong hydrogen. Wala siyang double bond, wala siyang triple bond. So it is considered as a saturated hydrocarbon. Di ba pag unsaturated, may double bond, may triple bond. Okay? So, medyo papansin nyo, medyo bumabalik tayo sa chemistry. So, medyo na-refresh yung ating chemistry. Okay? Kasi ito sa process plant, di ba sabi ko, ang gumagawa ng process ay usually mga chemical engineers. So, ito yung mga batak sa chemical. Okay? Ulitin ko, tayo mga petroleum, tayo ay nakikisali-sali lang. Joke, di naman. So, sa process plant, usually ang kinukuha nilang mga graduate ng petroleum at graduate din ng chemical. So, iba yung career progression ng petroleum engineers at chemical engineers. So, maaaring ang petroleum, pag nasa process plant, they can go to the management level or supervisory level. Sila nagkikip track ng lahat ng operation. Tapos pag sa chemical engineer, sila naman yung engineering level naman. Sila yung mga nag-study, conduct ng feasibility studies sa research team. And also sa process engineering itself. Okay? So yan, medyo magkakalapit-lapit lang naman ang sakot yan. Yung dalawang yan. Manager and the process engineer. So depende na rin yan sa plant, sa management. Ayan, so dinagdag ko lang information na yun, ang oras na 11:28. So, meron pa tayong code section na i-discuss sa ating next lesson, ating next topic. Okay? So, ano yan? Next week, Tuesday. So, di tayo mag-meet ng Friday next week kasi hopefully, mapirmahan na yung papers natin sa CHED, matuloy yung planter. Okay. So, ready na pa kayo ang mga gamit nyo? Medyo ready nyo na yung mga gamit nyo? Yung planter drip nyo? I-ready nyo na? So, nandyan pa ba kayo? O2? Ayan. Siguro yung iba ay kompleto ng tool. Yes, wala pasok.